Well, we are now joined by Matt DiBenedetto, driver of that number 21 Wood Brothers Ford, heading into this weekend's action at Kansas Speedway. Matt, why don't you walk us through your expectations after that strong run at Talladega?
Yeah, it's looking forward to it. We have some good momentum, as everybody's seen, so that's encouraging. Like, start of the season, man, we just had a lot of things out of our control happen, so nothing we could do about that. Now we're kind of on a roll and having showing the strength that we do have as a team that we've known that we have. So that's awesome. Super encouraging, feeling good about it. Obviously a heck of a shot to win at Talladega, which was great, a top 10 the week before. So top 10, a top 5. And then going into Kansas, we have the Menards and Dickies Mustang this week. So car looks good, nice and bright, feeling good about our mile and a half program is really strong.
Good deal. We're going to roll into questions here. Our first question is going to come from Bob Pockers. Go ahead with the question, Bob.
Yeah, good morning, Matt. I wanted to look ahead a week to Darlington. Is it going to be strange to be racing on actual Mother's Day? And I assume after last year, you guys are kind of used to Darlington in May.
Yeah, for sure. That's I'm looking forward to that one. It's going to be neat to racing there on Mother's Day is cool. It's neat. Also cool that we're be able to have some limited guests back at the track. Obviously, I wish we could have all of them. That would be preferred. But no, it's good. That'll be nice. So looking forward to throwback weekend. Obviously, anytime that we run a paint scheme or do anything with the woods, we could run in Darlington for 50 years and have throwbacks for every single one of them, just on the history of the Wood family and the 21 car. So that's a special one to us.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Our next question will come from Dustin Albino. Go ahead with the question, Dustin.
Hey, Matt, I'm curious, have you watched back the final restart from Talladega from Sunday?
Yeah, I finally pulled through and watched it.
And is there anything, like, when you look back at it, what could you have done differently?
So it's a good question. I've got that a lot this week, and first part I would answer is, am I beating myself up over it? No, absolutely not. Because like you probably may have seen video I made on social media, because a lot of people talked about it, rightfully so. No, not because it just as well could have been, just from my perspective, it just as well could have been the race winning move if circumstances happened differently behind us, with the 8 car and, the 12 car got kind of shuffled and that line broke apart. So the circumstances could have, it could have been where it's like, oh man, Matt, you made a great move taking that run, that momentum from the 12 car, and you got shoved out, stayed out in the lead and won the race. You could be saying that same thing. So no, I'm not beating myself up. Of course, hindsight's 2020, and I'd be like, I wish I would have stayed on the bottom, because if I would have known that lane, all that momentum broke up on the back straightaway and the 8 car pulled out of line and all that, but I didn't. So no, I'm not beating myself up over it. I think my spotter Doug and our whole team did an excellent job all day. I'm really proud of them and the hard work that we've put in on those super speedways to make sure that we, knowing we have such good cars on those places, the Fords are really fast, Roush 8's power, our Penske teammates, all that, we run so good. We want to make sure we damn sure do the best job we possibly can and have the best shot at winning. And 2 years in a row, we've been leading on the white flag, and just need circumstances to work out. So to answer your question, haven't beat myself up over it. Obviously it stinks. I want to get that win so bad, but I can't live every second beating myself up over it.
Thank you, Matt.
Thank you.
Our next question will come from Claire B. Lang. Go ahead with the question, Claire.
Thank you. So you're in the car trying to make the decision on that last move of the race. What goes through your mind? How quickly do you have to make that decision? I know it's a gut reaction, but kind of put the fans in the driver's seat of having to decide what that next move is.
Yeah, so I adjust this thing here a little bit. Yeah, I talked about that a good bit, is just out of defense of all the drivers and on the super speedways, how fast things happen, out of defense of my spotter, all the spotters, is that it's hard for people to understand how how fast those things happen and how much is also, well, people don't, I feel like people were missing a little bit is how much your race is also dictated off of what people do, not only with the car directly behind you, but 2 cars behind you, 3 cars behind you. So it's circumstances, what I call it. But you know, I made that video on social media to kind of give people an understanding of, hey, you know, you're making these decisions at 200 miles an hour when the runs are happening like that, like the snap of your fingers. You're making these decisions. You're driving out at 95% out of your mirror, you know, out of your little mirror up here, your little side mirror, and then trusting your spotter 100%. He's making these decisions and calling them. I mean, so fast, it's like up, 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 you know, stuff happens in, I mean, split second. And it's really easy for people to just watch and be like, oh, why did you pick this lane? You know, and I just wanted to do it more so, not in a negative way. I wanted to do it in an encouraging way, or just to give an understanding of how fast the stuff happens, how hard these super speedways are, and how, you know, much it's a chess game, and how much we study for these things, how perfect you have to be, and how much also on top of all that is based on what happens, you know, with guys around you and behind you. So I hope that I gave people an understanding of how tough it is. It's like, you know, watching an NFL game and being like, oh man, that quarterback, why didn't you throw it to this guy, you know, instead of this, when they've got, you know, 300-pound guys running at them, and this stuff happens in 3 seconds.
Do you feel like when you go to Kansas this weekend, like sometimes when you walk into Kansas, I always think it might be the perfect track after Talladega, because it's always low humidity, and maybe drivers don't see it that way, but it seems like a very calm track after we leave Talladega. How do you look at it?
I kind of look at the restarts sort of like a super speedway at Kansas. So the restarts are wild, and it stays pretty crazy for a bit with the way the racing is. So I think there are actually similarities in the restarts at Kansas and Talladega, because it does get, you know, 2, 3, 4 wide, people all over the place pushing each other, all that stuff. But yeah, you know, Talladega is its own animal, so it is kind of nice to go to a you know, a mile and a half where we have to study hard for the restarts and the race, and to be, you know, the best we can be, and track position restarts are huge. That's a big deal at those places. But yeah, you need kind of we couldn't do super speedway racing every week, to answer your question. That would be too mentally stressful.
Thanks for your time. Good luck at Kansas.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Claire.
Our next question is going to come from Chris Estrada. Go ahead with the question, Chris.
Matt, thanks again for joining us. Obviously, the most recent mile and a half was at Atlanta, but I'm thinking about Las Vegas, which is more of a standard mile and a half compared to Kansas. You had solid top 10 speed in Vegas. So has your team applied a lot of what worked for you there in preparing for this week, or are there some differences with Kansas that you've had to take into account?
Yeah, I think there are a lot of similarities, to answer your question. That's one of probably our strongest points in our program, are the mile and a halves. For whatever reason, our cars just run really, really well at those places, and in a variety of them. So no, there are definitely similarities in Kansas and Vegas, and places where we run really well. They just seem to be tracks that suit our race car. I mean, we have strong race cars pretty much everywhere, but we seem to have, I have a lot of confidence in the fact that we usually start with our setups pretty darn close. Our engineers and team do a great job of starting close, and it's nice that we have the track position to go along with that, so we can you know, start our day up front and be in front of the mess, and hopefully keep it up there and have a good solid day. I mean, it's a big deal, even though I know it's a long race. Starting up front is a big deal, on top of having, you know, fast cars at these mile and a halves.
And that actually goes into my follow-up. You obviously always want to come out of the hauler strong with a good race car, but with that top 5 starting position and knowing that you're in the middle of a bubble battle, is there a sense of extra pressure to come out strong, get those stage points off the bat?
I don't know if pressure is a good word. I feel like I'm almost numb to pressure because of my whole career path,
Right.
and you know, some of the obstacles we've overcome. So no, I look at it as more, it's encouraging and exciting that we have so much momentum on our side. We've gained so many points in such a short time, and recovered at a level that I didn't even know we could recover that quickly in such a short time. So, and we're still on the up. I feel like we're just getting started. So instead of pressure, I probably look at it more as exciting. Like, heck yeah, we got the top 5 starting position. We've got great momentum. We're putting together smooth races. We know we have fast race cars, great team. All that would probably be, right or wrong. That would just probably be my personal perspective and how I look at it and approach it.
Thank you.
Our next question will come from Marty Sakala. Go ahead with your question, Marty.
Thanks, Matt. Hey, Matt. Thanks for taking the time, man. Hope you're doing well. Want to ask you as well about Kansas this weekend. It's been nearly 10 years since the track got reconfigured. Speaking with Christopher Bell yesterday, I asked him if he started to notice some character to the track, and he's driven full-time in any NASCAR series since you started having a full-time schedule in the Cup Series. Have you noticed that character in Kansas Speedway?
Oh, yeah, 100%. Because I go back to, I remember racing on the surface when it was pretty newly paved, and it just had tons of grip. You're barely letting off all the way around there. I mean, it was, and the groove was just kind of the bottom or the middle, maybe pretty narrow. Fast forward, when you look from then, what I remember the racetrack to now is it's when we're looking at our race cars, people put a lot of downforce into them, because with our package, you kind of choose whether you want to be more trimmed out or more downforce. So guys will put more downforce into them. We're searching for grip. We can run from the very bottom of the track all the way up to against the wall. It's the tires wear out, lap times fall off. It's very sensitive to heat and temperature, if the sun's out, all that stuff. So that's just a short glimpse into how much that track has changed and aged over time, which makes it better and more fun every year that we go there. It just continues to get become a better track with more character.
And I'll just follow up on that. You just said searching for grip. It's supposed to be 82 or 77 this weekend. So it looks like it could be a slick racetrack. How important is that going to be as well? Looking for a groove on the track that's going to be the fastest around.
Yeah, that's big. I like it when it's hotter. If I could make it 90 and sunny, I probably would. And if I could put low downforce on the cars as well, we're always wanting to slip slide around. That makes it the most fun. But yeah, the fact that it'll be warmer and the character the track makes it to where we will be searching around. And what's interesting is at that place I found. You may find a groove, be like, oh man, I'm ripping the top and we're flying and we're fast. But it can also kind of go away where you're like, oh man, I was fast on the top and now it's kind of rubbered in. And then you start having a search and be like, well, oh, now all of a sudden I'm faster running the middle. And so it actually continues to change throughout the race. So it almost applies some of the dirt racing characteristics where you're searching for grooves and it doesn't always stay consistent.
Awesome. Thanks, Matt. Good luck this weekend.
Thank you.
Our final question will come from Jordan Bianchi. Go ahead with the question, Jordan.
Hi, Matt. I got a couple questions for you. As you look at your quasi teammates at Penske, how do you gauge your performance versus them and what maybe they have or are doing versus where you guys are at?
I think we're fortunate to have them to lean on and their information. We are still our own team technically, but we're very lucky to have strong alliance with Team Penske and our teammates to lean on, notes, all that stuff. It's very open book, which is great. So I think we really, in no comparison to anybody, we just had rougher circumstances than anybody starting off the season. Us and guys like Eric Almirola, things that were just out of our control. But you look at our recent performance, and we want our entire camp to be strong. All the Penske cars and us on the Wood Brothers side, we want us all to be strong. And lately I think we've had the best average finish or something over the last few races or whatever it may be. But it just is a testament to how great our alliance is with Penske, how lucky we are to have that and the support for Ford and all. And what makes our team great, because we when we have those smooth races like we've had, we have incredible strength as a team. And more so this year, I feel better about it than last, because we have all that time on our belt. Last year we were a new group working together, trying to figure each other out, and we had no practice, no qualifying, no nothing, no track time. So we had a lot to figure out and learn. So this year, with all that under our belt, these last few races, I think, are a better reflection of the strength and ability that we do have as a team.
Okay. And as you look ahead to 2022 a little bit, is there a scenario that you could envision where you would stay within the Team Penske organization in some realm?
You know, I don't know. I think, honestly, I'm pretty clueless about next year, as far as, not in a bad way, just as far as my focus is so heavily on right now, and being the best that we can be and letting the performance do speaking for me. I think, to answer your question better, so I'm not giving a runaround answer, I'm just being completely open book and honest. You know, you guys know me, that's how I am. Is my whole career, I've had to just become more accepting and okay with the unknown and rolling with it. So that's my best answer to you, is I know nothing. Is there a scenario where I envision that happening? I don't know. Anything's possible, I guess. I've seen, you know, heck, getting the 21 ride, I didn't even envision that in the slightest bit. I had no clue it was even a possibility, because I had no clue that Paul Menard was retiring, you know, and going back to the 95 car, I had no clue that Casey Kane was going to step out of that thing, you know, and retire as well. So my career has been full of so many unknowns, and I couldn't have envisioned really any of the things that have happened to get me here, but it's also trained me and groomed me to just be better at focusing on what's in my control. And that's why I don't even stress the slightest bit about it, is because of my past experience and knowing how I got here and reflecting back on that. So that's why I just talk about, hey, I don't have any, your guess is as good as mine. So if I give you an answer, it's literally just a guess, exactly the same as yours would be, because I know nothing more than any of you guys do. So I'm thankful that my career's taught me just, hey, go out. I've got a heck of a good ride. Love driving the 21 car. Go out there and keep doing what we did, because you keep positioning ourselves to have a shot to win. One of those wins will come, and run up front, run well, let the performance do the speaking for me, and things will work out for next year.
Thank you very much.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Good deal, Matt. Well, thank you for taking the time to join us, and good luck this weekend at Kansas Speedway.
All right. Thanks, guys. Appreciate the time.
Good deal.